Hey everyone, Teo here. Today I'm reviewing the Alldocube iPlay 60, which is an 11-inch Android tablet with USI pen support. So in this video, I will also talk about the pen performance when it comes to writing and drawing. First of all, a disclaimer, this is a review unit provided by the company, and in case you're wondering, I'm outside the Apple Store here in Singapore. Price of this tablet is $209 US, but the price will vary depending on where you buy this from. And at the time of making this video, this tablet is $159 on AliExpress. Let me give you the bottom line up front. The pricing is very attractive and this design looks quite good. Build quality is solid. The display quality is good. The colors are vibrant and the display is bright enough, especially when you're using it indoors. When using outdoors, it's best to use this under shade. Things I don't quite like: the speakers, they sound kind of hollow, and the performance at times can feel sluggish, especially when you compare it to the previous tablet, the iPlay 50 Mini Pro that I reviewed, which actually has a better processor, the MediaTek Helios G66. This one is using the Unisoc Tiger T606. This tablet only has 4 gigs of RAM with an additional 8 gigs shared from the 128GB internal storage. There is micro SD card slot, so you don't have to worry about lack of storage. Battery life is around 6 to 8 hours depending on brightness. This is a budget tablet, so the company has to cut corners in certain areas, and for this tablet it's the processor and 4 gigs of RAM. As to whether this is worth your money, well, you can decide after watching the full review. Alright, let's take a look at the items included in the box. In the box, you will find a user manual, a USB-A charger, a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, the SIM ejection tool, and the tablet. Extra accessories such as the case, the pen, the headphones, and wireless keyboard are sold separately. And this is a pretty good case, so I highly recommend you get this case. So this is a flip case, and it comes with this detachable cover. This is a flexible silicone cover that can protect all 4 sides of the tablet. So you can attach this magnetically to the flip case when you want to use the flip case or when you need the flip case. And when you don't need the flip case, you can just remove the tablet from the flip case. This is a nice color, and the material for the flip case is soft matte. Definitely get the flip case if you have the budget. This is the pen the company has included for me, and it looks different compared to the pen shown on AliExpress, so I'm not sure if you will get the same pen if you buy this on AliExpress. So if you're not sure, just ask the seller. And if you do decide to buy the pen, it will also come with this magnetic strip that you can paste beside the tablet so that you can attach the pen magnetically to the side of the tablet. So you may want to paste this here on the side of the tablet where there are no microphones and no SD card slot. But if you want to use this with the case, then the magnet will not be strong enough to attach the pen here. And if you paste this here on the silicone case, you will not be able to put the pen with the case in the flip cover. Because if this is here and the pen is here, you will not be able to close the cover properly. And if you put this on the other side, you will not be able to place the magnet properly onto the flip cover because this is not centralized. This is actually off-center. Let's take a closer look at this pen, which uses USI technology. USI is Universal Stylus Initiative, and I like the matte textured surface. This has a good grip and it's comfortable to hold. Build quality is solid. There is a battery inside which is not removable, and you have to remove this part here to get access to the USB-C charging port. I'm pretty sure this thing will break off soon enough. There is one side button here and a light indicator, and you have to power on this pen first by pressing the button before you can use the pen. The pen tip is considered quite firm, which is nice, and there are no replacement pen tips included, unfortunately. Let's look at the design of this tablet, which is now at 100% brightness, which is more than bright enough for use indoors, but not that great for outdoor use, especially when it's really sunny. A plastic screen protector is already applied, so make sure you do not peel off the screen protector when you peel off the protective film of the screen protector. The design looks good. The bezels are quite thin, the corners are rounded off, including the corners for the LCD display. The tablet is quite thin. The back has a matte textured surface and it feels nice. There's a 16 megapixel main camera, 2 megapixel macro and 2 megapixel ultra wide. The photo quality is just so-so. On the front there is a 5 megapixel camera. Now this tablet does not support face unlock and there is no fingerprint scanner, so each time you unlock you will have to do the swipe unlock or pin unlock, which can be quite inconvenient. And unfortunately, this tablet with the case does not have the auto wake and sleep feature. So on this side, there is the power button, volume control, 2 speakers. There is nothing at the bottom here. And on the other side, there are 2 more speakers, and that's the USB-C charging port with USB 2 transfer speeds. The speaker is loud enough for indoor use, but not for outdoor use, and the audio sounds slightly hollow, which is a downside for this tablet. And here you will find the SIM tray. The SIM tray can hold 2 nano SIMs or 1 nano SIM with a micro SD card, up to 1 terabyte or more. Let's talk about display quality, and it is quite difficult for me to show you the actual display quality because it's so bright outdoors right now, and this screen protector is so reflective. All you need to know is the colors look vibrant and the brightness is high enough for use indoors. The refresh rate of this display is 60 Hz. Resolution is 2000 by 1200 and pixelation isn't that noticeable from 1 arm's distance away, so the visuals all look pretty sharp. This tablet runs on Android 13 and it's almost stock Android, so there aren't many features. So if you need more features, you can always install your own launcher. Just look for any launcher from the Google Play Store. I'm using Nova Launcher here to customize the icons, the layout, and also get some extra features. There is no bloatware installed, which is great. Now this tablet has 4 gigs of RAM with 8 gigs of virtual RAM shared from the internal storage, which is 128 gigabytes, but you only get like 115 gigabytes. The processor in this tablet is the Unisoc Tiger T606, which is a budget entry-level processor, so it's not that powerful, and on this tablet there is the occasional lag or sluggishness. Let's see how much time it takes to launch an app. So it takes a few seconds to launch this app. Let's launch another app. Yep, it takes a few more seconds to launch this. Let's go into App Switcher. So right now it's quite fluid. It's not too bad. I really do not like how you have to swipe left and right to look at all the opened apps, and there is no towel mode. Okay, can you see the sluggishness? Okay, right now it's fine. Oops, yeah. It definitely is not as fluid as I would have preferred. This tablet has no issues playing YouTube videos, and there is Widevine L1. And it has started drizzling, so now I need to find some shelter. So let's go inside the mall. Let's go in. Wow. I actually wanted to sketch something outdoors with the tablet, but it's drizzling. Oh, it has actually stopped. Anyway, there is this very beautiful dragon that I can sketch here indoors. There are actually 3. Since I'm indoors right now, let me show you the visual quality of the display that you can expect when using the tablet indoors. And it looks pretty good. Let's look at the pen performance first before I talk about my drawing experience with this tablet and the pen. So there is noticeable diagonal line wobble and jitter, and this obviously is going to affect accuracy. Lines are able to taper quite smoothly and sharply, so this is good. Let's look at the true test for pressure sensitivity. Let me just enlarge this part here. Thin, thick, thin, thick, thin, thick. And this is also a diagonal line, so you can see diagonal line wobble that affects the line quality. The other thing to take note here is it is not easy for me to draw very thin lines after drawing the thick lines. So this pen may support 4000 over levels of pressure sensitivity, but in reality the pen is not that sensitive. So if you want to draw thin lines, you will have to adjust the brush size manually to draw the thinner lines. And if you want to draw thick lines, you have to adjust the brush size manually again to draw those thicker lines. You can't just choose a thick brush to draw thin and thick lines. So that's one limitation with this pen, with USI pens in general. Another issue with USI pens is sometimes you may have to tap twice for the first tap to register. For example, if I tap on the buttons here, sometimes I may have to tap twice, and when that happens it's quite annoying. Dots can be drawn quite easily by tapping on the tablet, and there is no cursor misalignment, so the cursor is always directly beneath the pen tip, which means I can join lines like this quite easily without the lines overshooting or without leaving gaps. And here it's quite difficult for me to draw because I'm holding the tablet and drawing, so there are two things that are moving. And this is where you can see the limitation with the pen as well. Because the pen is not that sensitive, you don't actually get that variance with the lines. So you don't get thin and thick lines unless you are very specific about how much pressure you apply. So what can happen is when you're drawing things like this, the lines are all the lines that you create, they may look as if they are of the same line width, when in actual fact, if you draw it with a more sensitive pen, you can actually see the variance with the line width more clearly. So that is the limitation with drawing with this pen on this tablet. And here's a quick sketch that I drew. Again, you can see there isn't much variance with the line width, so all the lines, they look like they are quite thick. You can get some thin lines, but the variation is not that obvious. The pen performance and line quality you can get will also vary depending on the apps you use. So this is Infinite Painter, and I am just not able to get the strokes to taper smoothly and sharply. And even when I am able to get the strokes to taper, there will be this shoelace effect. And also, I'm not sure if you saw it earlier, sometimes when I tap to draw, notice that stroke did not register and I have to draw a second time. This display is laminated, so there is no gap between the LCD and the glass surface. So when drawing or writing, there is no gap between the line and the pen tip, which is nice. This pen does not support tilt, so as I tilt the pen, I am not able to get the broad strokes, and for some reason the pencil brush for this app concepts, it doesn't look right, so it looks very weird. Alright, I've decided to draw in the mall because it's just more comfortable. So when I'm sketching outdoors and I'm standing, I always hold the tablet like this so that my arm is behind the tablet to support the tablet. This tablet, I would say, is lightweight enough for me to hold it this way. Now this tablet, I would say, is good for sketching, but not good enough for drawing or illustration where you need accuracy, because there is diagonal line wobble and there is no tilt, and the pressure sensitivity, as mentioned earlier, isn't that great. The three apps that are great for drawing on this tablet with this pen are Medibank Paint, Clip Studio, and IBIS Paint. These three apps have the best line quality. I am not using any line correction, so oops. Yeah. So this will give me the best latency performance, but there will still be latency as the line is trying to catch up with the pen tip. How much latency there is will depend on the app you use. So this app, Medibank Paint, usually has very noticeable latency. Okay, let me turn off the palette here on the right side. So this 11-inch tablet is a good size to draw, to work with, because there is space for you to rest your palm on the display while you draw. Alright, I'm going to draw a cartoony version of this dragon. So let's have big googly eyes. So depending on the app you use, you may be able to customize the side button to maybe erase. So I am able to draw the thin and thick lines. So let me just erase this part again to draw the hair. So let's press down hard to get the thin and thick lines. Now if you draw faster, the lines will be smoother and straighter. But if you draw slower, then obviously the lines will have that wobble or jitter, especially when drawing diagonal lines. So you have to know the limitation of this tablet in order to work around the limitations. The drawing performance here is very similar to the Huion Canvas Slate 10 that I reviewed a few days or weeks ago. Let's draw the thin lines. Okay, this is nice. The lines are able to taper quite nicely. For a tablet that is selling at 150 to 200 US dollars, this level of performance I would say is okay. The thing with tablets is sometimes people, they just want to buy the cheapest tablet possible, and there will be limitations with cheap tablets. Palm rejection works alright, so I can have my palm on the display and draw, and I will not introduce any stray strokes. Any wobble and jitter that you see right now is actually due to my hand, and the pen tip is quite slippery on the surface, so it's not easy to control this pen. Let's have a thick line. So I actually wanted the line to be thicker here, but I am not able to do so. Let me switch to a very thick line here. So let me join this line here and press down hard to get the really thick line and release the pressure here. Okay, so this is nice. I like how the lines turn out, but you can see there is slight pressure wobble there. So this part of the dragon will go down like this. Okay. And the tail will taper here. I actually wanted the line here to be much thinner, but I cannot make the line thinner because of the lack of pressure sensitivity for this pen. This pen tip should be able to last quite long because it's quite smooth on the surface, so it's not going to wear out that quickly. We have the claws. I need to make the claws thinner, so again I have to go in and adjust the brush size, the brush width. If you are using a very sensitive pen, you don't have to keep adjusting the brush width. So far, the app is still quite responsive, which is nice. Okay, the head looks a bit, weird. Let me just do some correction first. Anyway, this is just a loose sketch, so it's fine to be sloppy. I have colors coming outside of the lines. In terms of workflow, I would say I can be quite fluid here, which is good. Yep, I am able to work quite fast on this tablet. And lastly, time to add some shadows. And this is the completed sketch. I have added the background very simply to provide some context of where this dragon is. After drawing on this tablet for a few days, you can see the screen protector is pretty scratched up. Anyway, this screen protector can be replaced easily if you want to. Alright, to conclude, for a tablet selling at this price point, it is not surprising or unexpected to see downsides and limitations. Ultimately, it really comes down to how much money you want to spend, because there are Android tablets selling at US $100 all the way up to $1,000. And every time there will be people in the comment section saying that, hey, this tablet should have a better processor, and there are Android tablets with better processors. It's just that they are more expensive. For example, with the Huion Canvas Slate 10, which is a tablet that is quite similar to this, that tablet has better processor, more RAM, more internal storage, but that is also more expensive at US $249. But this tablet, you can buy it for around $159 to $200 over US dollars. So it depends on how much money you want to spend. The main downside for this tablet really is there will be occasions when it feels sluggish, but it's not like a major deal breaker for a tablet at this price point. Alright, so if you guys are interested to buy this, you can check out the affiliate links that I have for you in the comment section, in the video description below. And if you have other questions, let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. I hope this review is useful. See you again. Bye.